Okay, so let's divide some polynomials. This page is just a reminder of how we add fractions, okay? And it's important that you understand how to add fractions because you need to also be able to pull the fractions apart for this section. So keep in mind that you have to have a common denominator, right? When you combine them, you don't add the denominator together. The denominator stays that number, but you can add your numerators together, okay? And then vice versa. You're allowed to pull it apart from this to this, all right? And that's what we're going to be doing today. This page is also just another reminder using real variables, real numbers, all that good stuff, that you have to have a common denominator to add them together, and what it turns into whenever you add this is this down here, okay? And again, if you have this, you can turn this into this, all right? All right, so if you want to divide a polynomial by a monomial, divide each term of the polynomial by the monomial. Okay, I'm going to show you what that means here in just a second. Okay, remember I keep talking about tearing these fractions apart. And so in order to do this quotient, you can actually rewrite this problem like this. And now we can simplify each piece of that. So this right here, the 7's cancel. So you're left with just y squared. And right here, 21 plus 7, or 21 divided by 7 is 3. So there's our final answer. Sometimes the quotient problem is written just like the olden days, whenever we used to write things not in fraction form. So 18x to the third minus 36x squared, that whole thing is being divided by 6x. This and this mean the exact same thing. And so again, you're allowed to tear this apart. So 18x to the third divided by 6x minus, where did I get that minus from? I got it from right here. All right, so now we can do this math right here. 18 divided by 6 is 3. X cubed divided by x. Remember, you have to subtract those exponents. This is a 1 up here. We don't usually write it, but it is there. 3 minus 1 is 2, so this would be x squared minus 36 divided by 6 is 6. And then x squared divided by x. Remember, there's a 1 right here as well. 2 minus 1 is 1, so we're left with just 6. Now, why can't I combine these? Think about that for just a second. I cannot combine them because this has a 2 up here and this does not. So they're not like terms. So this is our final answer. Just going to do a few more examples here. So again, we're going to pull this one apart as well. And then I've got a minus in front of that 16. And I still have a negative 4 in the denominator. All right, so let's look at 12 divided by negative 4 is negative 3. There's nothing to simplify the d squared with, so I'm just going to rewrite it. Now, look at this. I've got a minus and a minus here. Those guys cancel each other. So I'm going to have a plus there instead now. And then 16 divided by 4, because remember, we've already gotten rid of this. 16 divided by 4 is 4. And then we've got the d left over. There we go. Can't combine those because remember, they're not like terms. All right, let's do another one. So 105 y to the 5th divided by 5y squared plus 75 y to the 3rd divided by 5y squared. Okay, so let's do the math right here. 105 divided by 5. 5 goes into 10 twice. 5 goes into 5 once. So this would be 21. Now look at this. Y to the 5th divided by y squared. Subtract those. So I've got 5 minus 2, which is 3, plus 5 goes into 75. How many times? 5 goes into 7 once. With 2 left over, 5 goes into 25 5 times. And then y to the 3rd minus y to the squared. Remember, because 3 minus 2, whenever you're dividing, you have to subtract. So you've got y. All right, and we cannot combine these because they're not like terms. So this right here is our final answer. All right, so here's another one written horizontally. And if you want, you can just go ahead and split it apart and write it vertically. I like writing these as fractions because I think it's cleaner looking. Okay, all right, so if you want to go ahead and get rid of that, you can do that, okay? And then we want to do this math right here. 15 divided by negative 5 is negative 3. X to the 3rd over x gives us x squared. The y's cancel out. Remember, y divided by y is 1, and putting a times 1 here doesn't change it, so we don't put it. I've got a plus now because those minus signs cancel each other out. 35 divided by 5 is 7. The x divided by x created 1, so those go away. Y squared divided by y is just y. And these are not like terms, so this is our final answer. Yikes, this one looks like a hot mess. Okay, so let's separate this. It might look a little bit better when we're finished with it. So we've got 36x to the 3rd y squared divided by 9x squared y plus, I got the plus from right here, okay? 27x squared y squared divided by 9x squared y. And then minus, where'd I get that minus from? Right here. 9x squared y cubed over 9x squared y. Okay, all right, let's get on it. Let's see here. 36 divided by 9. Again, it looks like a hot mess, but if you break it down into small pieces, it's not that bad. 36 divided by 9 is 4. Everybody in this class can do that. I know that. X to the 3rd divided by x squared. You subtract. 3 minus 2 is 1, so I get x here. Y squared divided by y. 2 minus 1 is 1, so I have 1y right here. Okay, there's our first term. Plus 27 divided by 9 is 3. X squared divided by x squared, those guys just cancel out. And then y squared divided by y. 2 minus 1 is 1. I have 1y. Oops, let's do that in the better color, purple color. There we go. Minus, where'd I get the minus from? Right here. 9 divided by 9 is 1. You don't necessarily have to put the 1 unless these guys cancel each other out too, okay? Since they don't cancel each other out completely, we don't have to put the 1, okay? So this cancels, but your y's don't cancel because I've got 3 up here and only 1 here. So I'm left with y squared down here. And that's it. This problem is done. It did end up looking a little bit cleaner at the end. All right, so sometimes you're still left with fractions, even though you've done everything right, and that's okay. Let's go ahead and pull this apart and simplify. Okay, so 10 divided by 5 is 2. X squared divided by x is just x. This is one of the few times that you do have to write the 1, okay? Because we can't just write nothing all right? Minus, and then 20 divided by 5 is 4, but the x doesn't have anything to combine with or simplify with, so it has to stay in the denominator. And that's okay. This truly is a good answer. It's not a pretty answer, but it's a good answer, okay? So this is our final answer. All right, that's it for this video. It was a short one. Hope you're doing well, and let me know if you have any questions.